Hi, this is Suzette for Cloudy Sky Today on YouTube, and it's still April, still National Poetry Month. So let's rain those words to bring some more beautiful verses. And today we're going to be looking at sonnet. What is a sonnet? According to Kennedy and Gioia, a sonnet is from the Italian sonetto, which means little song, and is a form that consists of 14 lines. Traditionally, it was written in iambic pentameter and was considered love poetry. Now, iambic pentameter, it has something to do with feet and 5 meters. It works out to 10 syllables. I finally figured it out a couple of years ago, but whenever I see iambic pentameter, I just think five, and I'm like, 5 meters? No, but 2 times 5. So although there are several variants of the sonnet, the two most well known are the Italian sonnet, and there's that big Italian word I tried saying earlier, but I had to do a retake because very hard. Shakespearean or English sonnet. Now here's where they said the differences are. In the Italian sonnet, it's still 14 lines, but you have an octave and a sestet. And they said normally, the poetry with the words, the topic normally changes on the sestet. With the Shakespearean, you have three quatrains. That's just 3 times 4 lines each, and then a couplet. And the quatrains are usually in a rhyme scheme of like A B A B A B B A A B A A. You get the idea. And then the couplet, you know, could be C C D D G G couplets. 2 lines. So the first poem we're gonna look at is this one by Edna St. Vincent Millay. And it's actually an example of an Italian sonnet because a couple things. There is a sestet. If you start at line 9, you see, well, if you look in the first part, she's talking about her lips. And then in line 9, she's talking about the tree. But it also has the rhyme scheme, with the octave. And it has a A, B, B, A, A, B, B, A in the octave. And then in the sestet, it has a C, D, E, D, C, E. And of course, the tree. So let's give it a read. The poem is called What Lips My Lips Have Kissed and Where and Why. What lips my lips have kissed and where and why, I have forgotten, and what arms have lain under my head till morning, but the rain is full of ghosts tonight that tap and sigh upon the glass and listen for reply. And in my heart there sits a quiet pain for unremembered lads that not again will turn to me at midnight with a cry. Thus, in the winter stands the lowly tree, nor knows what birds have vanished one by one, yet knows its boughs more silent than before. I cannot say what love have come and gone. I only know that summer sang to me a little while, that in me sings no more. Now, this other poem is actually a favorite of mine. It's by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. She was around 1809 to 1880, so before Edna St. Vincent Millay. She uses, of course, the word thee, which we don't very infrequently use in the English language nowadays. Maybe some places they still do, but for most of us, people walking around, we don't really say I beseech thee or I love thee. Usually use you. You can see that this one is also Italian sound, not just because I wrote it up there, but it also follows the octave and the sestet rule. But let's read it first, and then we'll analyze. So how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach, when feeling out of sight for the ends of being an ideal grace. I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need, by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after that. One thing that makes this poem have a more, I think, sing-song meaning, feel to it is the repetition, the use of I love thee. Also the rhyme, but the I love thee really sets it up nicely. Now we're going to move on to the English sonnet. And of course, we're going to look at who? Shakespeare, because it's always called Shakespearean or English sonnet. Now, I have a book called The Complete Works of William Shakespeare, with all his plays. And at the end of it, it has a whole bunch of his sonnets. And I just picked one. I didn't want to pick one that everybody else used. Well, I may have, because, you know. But this is sonnet, and if I'm counting my numbers right, C is 100, X before the C is 90. So this is sonnet 97. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. How like a winter had my absence been from thee, the pleasure of the fleeting year. What freezing have I felt? What dark days seen? What old December's bareness everywhere? And yet this time removed was summertime, the feet, the teeming autumn, big with rich increase, bearing the wanton burden of the prime, like withered wombs after their lord's decease. Yet this abundant issue seemed to me but hope of orphans and unfathered fruit. For summer and its pleasures wait on thee, and thou away the very birds are mute. Or if they sing, 'tis with so dull a cheer that leaves look pale, dreading the winter's near. I picked this because I'm born in December. No other reason. But let's look on the rhyme scheme. So you see that we have ABAB, right? Because been and seen rhyme. And then it does CD because we're using different, ending rhymes. We're not rhyming with been anymore. We're rhyming with time, prime, increase, and decrease. And then it has another contour with another set. Well, yet this you have tree and the fruit and moot, and then it ends with a couplet with share and near. So let's look at some modern sonnets. And by modern, what I mean, people who are still living. That's all. So I found this. I found this actually online. But I thought it was a good one because Sherman Alexie is a Native American poet and writer born in 1966 in Washington State. And, he's pretty well known. So he actually wrote a sonnet about Facebook. So here we see the topic evolving. We're not talking just about love or seasons or anything. The Facebook Sonnet by Sherman Alexie. Welcome to the endless high school reunion. Welcome to past friends and lovers, however kind or cruel. Let's undervalue and unbend the present. Why can't we pretend? Every stage of life is the same. Let's exhume, resume, and extend childhood. Let's all play the games that occupy the young. Let fame and shame intertwine. Let one search for God become public domain. Let church.com become our church. Let's sign up, sign in, and confess here at the altar of loneliness. Now, looking at this, of course, it's very clear that he's following the English format because he has cool, cruel rhyming, friends and unmen. It's a near rhyme. Not like you can say unmen's. Pretend, extend, same games, fame, domain, search, church, and of course the couplet, confess and loneliness. So this is very much an English sonnet. So let's get a modern example of an Italian sonnet. Now I met this poet here in South Florida. Michael Massari actually have his book Darklight and Echoes the sonnet, and he pretty much writes in Italian sonnet. And I'm going to read 32 because I actually like this one a lot. Plus, it kind of reminds me a little bit about Lord Byron for some reason. She soars through harsh, stripping cradle leafless trees older than my rolling life. Against such cauldron power all offerings list, feeble, tread bone away. Storms from dark seas are always females. First the limpid hands of beauty, darting slight or cascade fists slenders out, then sudden nails or longest, as downward streaked vanish light, rack sounds of gasping, bending, moaning, quiet. She moves on, I crawl above marl in a burrow. A raw scent, her lingering red stain. I am alive, eyes luminous free. I haven't the least hope why my wet fur glistens stark in this cruel autumnal rain. And you can see the rhymes. And you can actually, from the way it's divided, see the octave and the sestet. The rhymes, leafless, dark sea. So it's following the A, B, B, A. And then hands and sounds, fifth and longest. So there you have A, B, B, A. And then you have the sestet. It's talking about storms and, females. And then for the last one, yes, it's going to be me. I actually wrote in the form of a sonnet. And it's in Bards of Broward, the Courtyard Chronicles. And it's called So Many Tears. Now, before I read it, I'm going to analyze it. What form do you think I'm writing in? Yes, the English form, because I'm using the quatrains. I have 3 quatrains, and then I have the couplet at the end where I rhyme the same day. And I use A, B, A, B. And I use some near rhymes. Because, me and even is not really a rhyme, centered and helping. But sounding, when I read it, it might sound like a rhyme. Others, offers, do, you. Well, those are actually perfect rhymes. So I'm going to read. So many tears I've cried, yet I'm not done. Not because it's election year and dirty slings are part of the game, as people shun and shame and play guilty games for country. So many years still welled up inside me, not because people are so self-centered that they can't put the cell phones down even when someone is right there helping. We all think of our own needs and not of others. I'm no different with things I want to do, as I wish to see the worldly offers instead of spending some time to visit you. So now I cry for all I can never say, and I wish you had lived even just one more day. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed watching, and please like and subscribe.